Hi, welcome to the show. I think you're going to enjoy it today because I have with me the Exalted ruler, Donna Gentile, and Vern Popowski, both with the McMinnville Elks Lodge. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure for having us.
Well, Vern, we met at the Chamber of Commerce.
Correct.
And you came as an elk wanting to kind of get out more in the community. And at the chamber, sometimes I look around the circle and said, who would be interesting to interview? And I just went, Vern, because people don't know about the Elks, and here he wants to get out into the community, so here we are. Thanks for being here. And Donna, Exalted Ruler, tell us, what does that mean? That's a big title.
Well, the Exalted Ruler means that I've joined the Elks through an interest in joining the organization, and I have traversed many of the different stations within the Elks, and now I've been awarded through the membership being elected Exalted Ruler, which means I preside over all of the meetings that they have, and I'm the ruler of the lodge.
All right. Well, thanks for being here and giving us an insight into, I think a lot of people don't know about Elks. So myself, and I've learned a lot talking with you, and I will on this show, I'm sure. So Donna, what about your history with the Elks?
My history with the Elks, I've been with the Elks just over 6 years. I became interested with the Elks when I moved to McMinnville, retiring out of California. And I was introduced to the Elks through several friends going up to play charity bingo on a weekly basis. Mm-hmm. And I was introduced to a wonderful group of caring, giving, charitable people, to the point where I felt that with my background, I could give to them as well as get from them in the relationship. That's what brought me to become an Elk.
All right. Well, what is your background that you
I'm a registered nurse. I worked in Boston, Massachusetts for 22 years in cardiology alone with open heart surgeons.
Wow. All right. And worked your way to become the leader now. Wonderful. And how about you, Vern? Longtime Elk? New Elk?
I've been a member of the Elks for approximately 14 years, okay? I came in here as a friend of mine says, you ought to join the Elks. The thing that appealed to me was the amount of activities that they have and the socialization that you get. You meet a lot of people, and I enjoy meeting people, what their interests are, stuff like that.
Well, we talked about the Elks as a fraternal organization, and your dad was a member of what organization was that?
My father was an officer in the Foresters. He was a beadle. Whatever that is, I don't know, but he was very socially active in that. He went to dances and different affairs and so on and so forth. So I guess part of the family genetics is, well, I guess Dad did it, so I guess I'm kind of into it.
Yeah. What attracted you, Vern? You said it was a social aspect, also to help people, and now you seem to have brought a strength of outreach.
Correct. And for me, it's important to get the message out, to say we're part of the community, because we are part of it. I mean, I live here in McMinnville, see? Mm-hmm. And the organization we can bring in, that we are here to help, because that's one of the things I admire about being a citizen of the city. It's a very caring community.
Yes,
you can become part of it. You're not alienated like a lot of places you might go to.
And when you say caring community, part of that, what I've come to learn in talking with you, just getting ready for this show, is a large part of that is the Elks and what they do. And we're going to get to that. You brought a lot of information. But I would like to ask a little bit about the history of Elks itself, the organization. How did it get started?
Well, actually, the Elks organization started with a group of theater actors called the Jolly Corks. They developed a group where they could get together, socialize, discuss the theater business and rehearse their roles and what have you, and they were named themselves the Jolly Corks. And back in the day, yes, it was a good old boys club where they could get together and tip a few. And
just a few.
And one thing that they did back then that still carries through to today, our image today is changing from the good old boys, but back in the day with the Jolly Corks, they developed a game, and it was called the cork game, where when you opened a bottle of wine or whatever spirits they were indulging in, there was corks. All the corks were placed on the table, and when they invited a new member in to partake, they'd call cork, and they would reach and pull the corks. The last person to clear the last cork off the table had to purchase the round. And in this day and age, even today, if you go into Elks lodges, there are certain challenge coins through the different organizations, like the Drug Awareness Program has a challenge coin. The Riders have a challenge coin. And if you're asked for challenge coin and you don't have it, you might very well end up buying the round for the table that you're at. But we have moved a long way beyond just that.
Of course, of course. Now, Vern, how did the organization progress beyond just those men? How did they start to grow in their mission?
Well, what had happened as one of the members passed away, and his wife and children were left, but they didn't know, what they were going to, what are we going to do? I mean, I don't work. I mean, who's going to take care of me? Well, the cork people went ahead and, but go ahead, and they came in and contributed money and funding for this person to go ahead and take care of them by paying their rent and so on and so forth.
So from there, it became a benevolent organization.
That is correct.
I've heard the initials BPOE, and I knew someone that was an elk, and they said that's secret. So what it means. But I went on the website and found out, what does it mean?
It means Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks. It is not a secret.
I guess that person was just messing with me. So you have this benevolent organization. Let's go back and talk about what happened here in McMinnville. How did the Elks come to McMinnville?
The Elks came to McMinnville, from my recollection, in 1912. A group of individuals, gentlemen at that time, got together and wanted to open a lodge. And through their efforts of applying, they had to have a sponsor to sponsor their lodge. And the existing lodge in Salem, Oregon, sponsored the lodge. They actually opened the lodge upstairs on the second floor on 3rd Street, and the lady's name that owns it now is...
Marilyn Dell Warricks.
Right.
Correct.
And her building is opened at least once a year for you to go and see it, and you can still see the original meeting hall and some of the original encasements that were there at the building. We stayed there until approximately 1936, 1937, when the building was purchased on the corner of Evans and 4th. And we remained there until...
2016.
And I've been to events in that building. It was a wonderful building. There was food and drink available. And one night I was there at 11 o'clock. I forget, it was a dance. I think it was a dance of some sort. And what happens at 11 o'clock? It was amazing.
At 11 o'clock, there is a ritual that is performed. It is called the 11th hour toast, and it is the Elks way of remembering their departed members. It is called the 11th hour toast, and it is in salute of our departed members.
And at every lodge, everything stops at 11 o'clock?
If the lodge is open at 11 o'clock, everything ceases. The bar closes down, the music stops, so that we can honor our absent members.
Yeah, it was inspiring to see that. It was beautiful. That was my introduction to a little bit inside of what the Elks do. So, 1912, they started here. The building with Marilyn Dell owns now, the one on the corner of 4th and Evans, and now you're temporarily meeting
at Maddie's room, the Hotel Oregon, and we've been there a couple of years.
Correct.
But we do see light at the end of the tunnel. We have purchased a building, and we will be hopefully opening the new building soon.
Okay, all right. Well, we need to get into some of the things that you do in town, because I think that's really the crux of the Elks' existence, is the service that they do. And I've just been blown away by hearing all the different things. So let's start. What's at top of the list? What comes to mind that you do?
I think one of the most important things that we do in the town or in the city and in the surrounding cities is the extension of our eye program. We offer free screening for preschool children. It is totally free. We bring in specialists from our KCI clinic at OSHU, and they're screened for different eye problems. Some of the eye problems that they're screened for, if they're not found by age 7, there is irreversible damage done to their eyesight. This is totally free, no cost to the parents, no cost to the organization that we're performing the test at. They are given a referral if the child doesn't pass the test, and then it is up to the parents to contact the appropriate people to have a further examination. If they're unable, they can contact the KCI clinic.
So the KCI clinic is a part of OHSU.
It is an Elks-driven eye clinic that is at OSHU.
Okay.
That clinic will soon be closing because the Elks are in the process of building a multi-million-dollar eye clinic. It will be called the Elks Oregon Eye Clinic. It'll house all of these specialties for eye care for the entire state and referrals across the country.
Well, I think people are interested to hear this because maybe some people think, well, I don't hear much about the Elks anymore. I wonder how they're doing. But it sounds like you're upping the game, not just trying to
It is correct, yes.
survive, but you are moving forward in a big way. So you brought your eye care specialists to Head Start.
Yes, we did the entire Head Start school here last year, as
All
well
those
as
kids?
we did 2 sessions at the McMinnville Library, Public Library. And in the past, we've done Newburgh and Sheridan and Sherwood.
So is this general throughout Elks, is that they pay attention to children's eye
Yes,
health?
through the state, yes.
The state here in Oregon, correct, yes.
Okay. They've adopted that as kind of one of their...
This is one of our biggest state projects
Correct.
Okay.
that we support.
Wonderful. Well, you save a lot of children's vision by doing these early tests.
That is correct,
That's
yes.
All right, what's next on the list?
We have another program, which is drug awareness, which, Vern, you want to talk about some drug awareness?
Yes, drug awareness brings the use of drugs for its negative and within our society, makes younger people aware of what's going on if you take these drugs. We have what they call a drug mobile, which we have at Sue Buell School we did for their Husky days. We have the drug mobile here in McMinnville for the Turkey Rama.
Yeah. I was walking the street and got all the way down to the end, and that's where I met you, Donna, out in front. It was a hot day, and there was that trailer with all the material.
And when we were at Sue Buell School, we had a little game where the children could play. And if they get so many points, they got a little wristband, a drug, or they got comic books, or they got coloring books and stuff like that to put into their mind,
Yeah.
this is not good.
Yeah. All right.
And we have also placed out at Sue Buell School a banner on the fence about not to use drugs.
So, drug awareness, does that have a long history with Elks, or is that something that's been adopted recently?
This is a national program.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most recent accolades that we've come across is we are now in partnership with the FBI for drug awareness across the country. So Elks across the United States, every single Elks Lodge has a drug awareness program, of course, to different levels. But the FBI has really been quite appreciative for the amount of work that we do, and they have partnered with us in the work that we are doing.
Well, that's exciting. That
It is. It's quite exciting because you might not think it, but we do see improvement.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, we've talked about 2 incredibly important things that you're doing nationwide. What's next?
Another program that we're involved in that is very near and dear to me, being a retired nurse, is our Camp Meadowood Springs camp out in the Pendleton area. It's for the hearing and speech impaired children. They take kindergarten up through high school. The children that go to that camp, they can receive financial assistance from the Elks. We have provided them with transportation out there. We provide them with places to stay. We do assist them with the tuition, and they are almost on a one-to-one basis with college students that are going into the vision speech programs and hearing programs. They're almost on a one-to-one basis. And we have heard back from people that have sent their children there that their children will come back and go back into the school system where they are attending school on a regular basis to find that they've advanced 1 or 2 notches just by going to this camp for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks. And it's a fun summer camp, but there's also counseling.
Right, it's a fun summer camp. They have fishing, canoeing. Our lodge was instrumental in presenting them with a tournament-size ping pong table. They have all sports. They go hiking, but everything is intertwined with therapists. There are therapists there 24/7, and it's almost on a one-to-one basis.
And how does that show up in our community?
Anybody who's interested can go online, and if they need financial assistance, they can contact our lodge.
Or they can sign up and go.
Yes, they can
A
sign up
family
and
can
go.
say that-
Everything is done computerized.
Yeah. And say the name of the program again.
Camp Meadowood Springs for the hearing and speech impaired. That is my favorite, one of my favorites. So they're all my favorites.
Have you been out there to the camp?
Unfortunately, usually when they have their open houses, I have not been able to go out there,
Okay.
but I've seen pictures.
Uh-huh.
Each lodge has a cabin out there that they take care of. This is totally Elks supported. They maintain the property. They maintain during the winter, if there's any damage done to the cabins or anything, we send a whole force up there over Memorial Day weekend to shape up the camp and get it up and running for the kids. We do have put out requests for donations for things, and all the lodges usually come forth with donations for things that we need, and there are lots of corporations that help us out with dishwashers and printers and things that, sometimes we can't get for the camp. We get it through donations.
And to add to what you're talking about, Donna, sometimes an individual lodge the members will donate stuff they may need or want. It could be something like, well, they need toothbrushes and they need shoes and stuff like that. Maybe linens, towels and stuff like that, soap, stuff like that.
Every single year, Camp Meadowood Springs, the faculty puts out what they call their annual wish list. And it's what they're short in and what they need. And 99% of the time, by the time camp opens, their wish list is complete. Because that's what Elks do. We care and we share.
Well, I think folks watching now are going, okay, the Elks are amazing, but we're not done yet. What's another program that you
We have
have
the
going
National Hoop Shoot that starts in grammar school and goes up through high school, where the children are encouraged to shoot baskets. And it starts in the city, the town level, the local schools, and then from the local schools, it goes to the district level. From the district level, it goes to the state level. And then from the state level, if you're fortunate enough to win state level, all expenses paid, you go to Chicago to the Nationals. And fortunately, we just had a young gentleman from Tualatin Valley Lodge that did make it all the way to Nationals.
Wow.
And he was just elated. He was just elated.
So Hoop Shoot, what's the contest look like? How does it work?
How it works is that we go into the different schools and we set up like on a Saturday, and we have different age groups and different qualifications. And what it is, it's the successful completion of X amount of shots out of the total that they do. And the young man that went to National, I believe he did something like 98 out of 100.
That's skill. That is skill.
All right. So the kids that go through this, they get the experience of the competition and then the possibility, and they work their way up.
Yes, they work their way up in stages. They have as they leave their local schools and go into the different levels, they're able to fraternize with different age groups and different schools and kids from different towns. It is a phenomenal experience for their exposure and their growth. And the kids love it. They absolutely love it. The boys have their boys groups and the girls have their girls groups. And they love it. They're very, very competitive.
Hoop Shoots. So when does that start? When does the program open up? What time of year?
After school starts.
Okay, so people
In
want to be
September.
looking for Hoop Shoots when school starts, if they want to sign up for
Most
that.
of our school-driven programs do start after school starts. That gives us a chance to get into the schools system during the summer and present the programs to see if they're interested. And it all depends upon whether we get the support from the school system right now. And we do get support from the McMinnville school system.
Okay, how do you do all this? Your members must be very engaged.
Correct. There's a lot of people have certain skills that they like to do. Some people are sports inclined. They love sports, whether it be basketball, football. There are other people that enjoy other things. Other people enjoy keeping track of the books. Some people enjoy interacting with other people.
Okay.
And of course, we look for volunteers through our membership, people that are interested in doing something like that. Like, I've been the chairman of Camp Meadowood Springs for years. Glenda Smith is the chairperson of Americanism because it's something that she really likes to do. We have another member, Tammy Cook, who does our scholarship program, which is another, there again, school-based community program that we offer two $500 scholarships, one for boy, one for girl, every year. There are certain prerequisites that they have to meet, and Tammy Cook does it all on the computer, and there again, you can apply to us on the computer. You just go to the scholarship section.
And these are scholarships for kids that are near graduation?
Yes.
Correct, yes.
So the
For college.
Elks scholarship, so that's something that kids in the high school, when they're looking over the scholarships, one of them they can apply for is the Elks.
Correct.
Do you know what some of the criteria are?
Basically, you have to, well, for any scholarship, you have to your grades have to be up, you have to be well-rounded. A lot of them, you have to do your community service. I mean, it's just not saying, well, today, I need a $500 scholarship, so I'm going to apply for it.
Yeah.
There are things that are attached to it.
Maybe an essay?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, but there is an essay. Maybe I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of Americanism?
Americanism.
Yeah, let's talk about
The
that.
Americanism program is a program that we do in the grammar schools. Every year, we go in with a topic, and the children are asked again to do do an essay. And this year, our topic is what makes you proud of America. This is the topic that we will be presenting to the school, and through beginning of school in September through December, the children are asked to do an essay. It has to be handwritten. Well, not actually handwritten. It has to be totally done by the child. And you can tell when you start evaluating essays which are and which are not. And when we pick them up in December, there is a board. Glenda has her committee, because she's the chairperson of Americanism, that sits and evaluates the essays. We have the lodge winners, and those lodge winners go to district, and again, on up the ladder to national.
Where's district?
Each area of lodges form a district. In our district, we happen to have 7 lodges.
Okay.
There's McMinnville, Tualatin Valley, Sherwood, Kaiser, Salem, Silverton.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but
No,
you
that's
did really
okay.
well.
Yeah.
But okay, we get the idea of the area, so that's district, and then what's the next level up from that?
State. All of us form under the state, and then each state falls under national. Our national headquarters is in Chicago.
Okay, and it's in Chicago, but that's where the Jolly Corks were? No.
No,
No.
they're originally in New York.
They were in New
New
York,
York.
okay.
Mhm.
But now national headquarters Elks.
Is in Chicago.
Conferences back there, annual conferences you go to?
Our annual conferences are given throughout the United States. Vern and I just recently returned from
San Antonio.
San Antonio, Texas, over
Correct.
the 4th of July for the 150th celebration of Elkdom.
What did you come back with? Usually you go to a conference, you just really get full of vim and vigor. Was there a topic that they were?
A lot of the topics, Vern, you went to.
I went to basically public relations, and they talked about, younger people. And be sure that you let younger people know that there are younger people involved in the Elks.
Right now, you have young folks there. It's not just
In our
for
lodge, we
people
have younger people,
my age.
younger people who are officers and on our board
Okay, officers on the board, they're an integral part.
of the structure. So they're part of the decision-making process. And that was one of the things that came out, and also to change the opinion of what people perceive us to be. That we are involved in the community, as you can see here.
Yeah.
What we're doing here. and getting involved like we're doing right now. And thanks to you, this is another example of that.
Yeah, well, this is a great opportunity for, I think, our people that don't know you. Probably a lot of people do know about Elks because you are so involved in so many places, but I think some people are not connected, so hopefully...
This will help,
yeah,
yes.
this will help.
I can give you, not to want to read things, but I can just give you one example of what happened at the National Convention.
Sure.
As I mentioned, that we have the citywide, townwide, district-wide scholarship program. One young lady and one gentleman each received a $50,000 scholarship from the Elks Foundation.
Well, that'll put them through Harvard.
Those are the winners of the national scholarship. It's because, again, you go for your entrance, keep on going up, and as you keep getting your scholarships, this is what the Elks did. They gave one young man and one young lady a $50,000 scholarship
Wow.
each. Alone this past year, the Elks nationwide donated over $40 million to the Veterans Association homes in the different states and what have you. And that's another very, very big project that we hold near and dear to us. As long as there's a veteran, the Elks will help them.
Okay, and does that show up in this community? Would you take care of Elks that are veterans or other
Veterans,
period?
veterans,
Okay.
Veterans.
period.
They don't have to be an
An
elk
elk. Absolutely
to
not.
get the benefit. We go on Veterans Day and Christmas, and we take gifts to veterans who are in homes, who are disabled, and thank them for their services that they performed. We check with these various homes to see what some of these veterans need. For some, they need sweaters. For some, they need socks. For some, they need shoes. This is what we do locally in McMinnville and our surrounding communities.
Like last year, or 2 years ago, we participated in one of the Elks, one of the Veterans Association put on a veteran stand-down, and I'm not sure that you know what a veteran stand-down is.
I went to it. It was in the old building.
We were there.
Yeah.
It was given in our building. We provided lunch and everything for all of the
People
veterans.
that have come recently out of service, what
Yes.
they need.
What they need.
Whether it be job.
There were barbers there were dentists there were people that, we had older shoes, boots and stuff that they could take. Some were new, some were not, but we actually participated in the veterans stand-down. And another thing that we did here from McMinnville, we do apply for grants every year through the Elks National Foundation. And last year, we were able to present iPads to some of the veterans because they have their clothes and what have you, and we found that a lot of them liked music and stuff, and they didn't have means of having enjoyment for their music, so we got them iPads for Christmas through the grant that we applied from the Elks National Foundation in Chicago.
Oh, that's
And it's wonderful just to be able to go at Christmas time and present them with something like that, because they're very appreciative, and they deserve it.
Correct.
Donna, we've gone through quite a list. We're running out of time. Is there anything else that we've skipped over that you wanted to talk about that Elks do?
I think basically we've covered everything that we do.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Where I want to see us going
Yes.
is we are on the cusp of opening our new lodge.
Yeah.
We have purchased a new building. We have been blessed by Grand Lodge, by them giving us permits to proceed, and right now we're waiting for the City of McMinnville Planning Board. They have our architect's drawings in hand, and we're just waiting for the go-ahead from them so that we can renovate and open the new McMinnville Elks Lodge 1283.
Well, that's great. What a past and what a vision. I'm just so grateful you came today.
Well, thank
and,
you very much for having us.
told your story here to me and to those folks watching. Well, all the best, and I'm going to be a lot more aware of Elks now in the community, and I'm grateful to you for being here.
Well, thank you
And
for
thank
having
you
us.
for including us.